Welcome back to opinionsarethree.com. It's a site where you can post your opinion on one of the topics that we have on our homepage, or you can ask to have a topic added just through the email link. And unlike some other sites where you can post your opinions when they allow you to post your opinions, we're not there to bitch slap or to judge you, and none of the other posters are allowed to criticize your opinion. That's not what we're about. We want to know what you feel about certain subjects and certain topics, okay? And there are some very basic rules you follow, and they're not that hard to understand. If you're just looking to pick a fight on social media, by all means, there are some other places out there that are more suited than opinionsarethree.com. And I want to talk to you about a specific subject today. It's, in fact, so much that I didn't even bother putting up our incredibly beautiful backdrop there. Let me ask you a question. Who is buying all of the homes? And what I mean is, if you look at the recent spate of TV commercials on American TV and also Canadian TV, but primarily American TV, from all these services that promise to buy your house outright so you don't have to go through the arduous task of putting it on the market and having it open houses and showing it to potential buyers, they'll just come over and buy your house from you. That's not really providing a service to bona fide home buyers who want to buy a house, because now they're competing against not just other home buyers, but against corporations that have deeper pockets and can buy firm without conditions of financing and whatnot. I'm sure there are always clauses in there that would benefit the corporation. But who would be motivating corporations to buy homes during a market that is essentially slow, unless they know that there's something on the other end in a few years, either a market appreciation to bring the value of those homes up, or some other scheme to pay for any loss of funds or value because of a decreasing market? Could it be one of these guys here? Santa Claus, who says that you will own nothing and be happy? You will own nothing and be happy. That includes your own house. You won't own your house. You will just live in a house, probably not your own house, but a house that might be allocated to you. Has it happened in the past? Go back 50 years. Go back to the Soviet Union where you were allocated 97 or so square feet as your living space in a house that really was owned not by you or your parents, but by the state. And the state can, at any point, pick you up and kick you out. And if you were a tenant, they could just assign you another apartment. You really wouldn't have a lot of input into it. That was a reflection of the type of mentality that ran the Soviet Union back then, and to a degree, ran China, communist China, although they opened up to democracy, and they're really not communist as much as they're a capitalist society, very good ones too, that have an authoritarian government that still has control over the doings of people on a daily basis. But let's go back to the housing for a second. So you have corporations now that are buying all of these homes during a market slump, and we can't really see any real appreciation in the market over the next 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 years. So as you're holding this asset, it's becoming less valuable. So now there's a hole in the bucket of money that you're trying to put together. Who will live there? It could be that it gets so bad that corporations like Black something or other, I'm not going to use any names, purchase most of the homes. Right? Investors will invest in the value of those properties as a lump sum or a group. But for the most part, it's not about the investment. That's really just a short-term stopgap to allow money to be brought into the overall scheme to minimize losses. But look at the future, 3, 5, 10 years, or maybe 20, 30, if it's up to this guy and his obedient minions, then the corporations will own these properties and will then allocate square footage to individuals who are homeless. Who are those homeless individuals? Well, it could be people that lose their homes. It could be one of the millions of undocumented people that are coming into the countries now and don't have homes, can't afford to buy homes. All right? However, you cannot see a corporation extending living space to all of these individuals without some kind of compensation. And if it doesn't come from the individuals, then it has to come from someone else. And who will that be? Will it be the investors? No, because investors aren't stupid and they see the long-term investment potential for a clump of homes that is not appreciating in value is actually negative. It will come from the government that will get the money through taxes, or perhaps even by taking properties from individuals and then selling them en masse to the same corporations that will then be giving them back to the individuals to live in for a reasonable rent. And a reasonable rent will not be what you or I think is a reasonable rent, but what the establishment will think is a reasonable rent at some point in the future, when they are then allowed to allocate maximum square footage. Because again, if you're being given a place to live at a very low cost, will you have the right to question the value of the property you're getting, the value of the square footage, the amount of square footage? I really doubt that. So we see that the mechanism for putting this into place is already, working, is gearing up. Guys like this, who will never, ever live in 97 square feet or be allocated that much, but will have his own mansion and his millions or billions of dollars, and all of his little minions underneath who follow, their path, and absolutely stupid politicians who, when they're campaigning, never really tell you anything important. They just use the same blithering nonsense about, talking to stakeholders and representing your interests, but really having the faintest, foggiest idea what to do, because most of them are not really intelligent people. Mind you, there are a lot of intelligent people who are screwing up the system pretty badly as well. But again, that's an opinion. Look, if you have an opinion on this, on whether or not you will have nothing and be happy, or you will own nothing and be happy agenda will actually take place, then hop onto opinionsarefree.com and leave your opinion. If you think that the government will somehow, rocket in and be the savior that will give all these homeless people free homes to live in, then post your opinion. And just look up the rules before you do it. They're pretty straightforward. Just leave your opinion on the topic. Don't criticize the person before you, even if you don't agree. That is not how you get to constructive discussion. And I hope you're having a good day. It is middle of May 2024, just to give you some perspective on date. And also you can look up the current market conditions for this period to understand where the markets have been going, where it looks like it's going to go, and where the housing market itself is going to go. And that can help you establish an opinion as to what may happen in the future. Have yourself a great day. I hope you're doing well. I hope your family is safe. And talk to you soon.